Welcome to the w00tonomy Content Marketing Cast. Today I'm joined by Mark Gorman, who is the Head of Thinking at Think Hard. Mark, tell me about marketing in Scotland. Where is it? Where's it going wrong?
Well, marketing in Scotland is probably best described as a collection of SMEs. Hundreds of small companies making a great contribution to the Scottish economy. Over 330 million at the last count of gross value add. So it's an important aspect of the economy, and it creates a great deal of added value to operators, businesses within the Scottish economy who use our services. So it's a very creative collection of small businesses doing exciting things.
So we have the sector that makes an enormous contribution to the Scotland economy for its size. How do you see it developing though in the next 5 years or so? Well,
I guess the whole issue that faces marketing in general these days is the fragmentation of the media. Mm-hmm. The opportunities for that are fantastic for small companies because it allows us to pick up niche opportunities. But on the other hand, we're seeing the disappearance of broadcast media. ITV is struggling desperately. The newspapers, it's well documented that circulation is going down dramatically, and that makes reaching wider broadcast audiences very difficult. However, on the counter to that is that there's millions of opportunities arising on a daily basis from the media. My concern though is that as an industry, being small and disjointed, we don't really have a common voice as an industry, and I think our government fails to recognise the added value that we bring to the economy in Scotland. So I would like to see us engaging more closely with government, finding ways for us to be helped as an industry to take forward that talent and really exploit it to the full.
You mentioned the fragmentation of the media, and obviously that's been driven by the growth of online. How do you see the Scottish online landscape?
It feels very young, it feels quite inexperienced, and it feels driven by creative energy, technical expertise and technical innovation. But the concern I have about the digital industry in Scotland is that it doesn't feel particularly embedded by marketing people. It feels more embedded by creative and technical people, and that's great because a lot of the opportunities are technical. But when you've got to go out there and spread marketing messages to people, I think if you lack that skill base in marketing, that could be something that hampers our industry. And that perhaps just is because we're in the early stages, there's a lot of people growing up and growing into those roles. But I'd like to see more of a focus on the quality of the strategic thinking about the message rather than the medium.
And what are the pitfalls of just focusing on the medium rather than the message?
The content is irrelevant, or the content is naive, or the content doesn't engage with the sales message and the rest of the marketing mix as in a more mature sense.
Looking beyond Scotland, where perhaps the online market is more mature, what are the innovations that you're excited about online at the moment?
Well, there's a new innovation every day, isn't there?
Absolutely.
Some of which are completely meaningless, completely useless, and are just fashion items. I mean, we saw big excitement amongst my circle of friends last year about the rise of Facebook as it moved out of the kind of student generation into a wider group. But already the talk is Facebook, well that was so 2007. So I think the danger is that there's a lot of bandwagon jumping going on, that what the bandwagons people are jumping on don't actually necessarily have any strong marketing role in the mix. They're just a bit of fun. Really, the industry needs to the digital communications marketplace needs to settle down a little bit, I think, and find real strong communications tools and vehicles and sites coming through.
If you had to pick an online property or an innovation that you felt was going to last, that was of use, what would it be?
Well, having just dissed Facebook, I think there is potentially the applications that work with Facebook, once you get rid of the killing zombies type applications and look at the social networking opportunities that lie there, may well give it a great deal of resonance. But there's some fairly fundamental kind of biggies out there. I mean, I've been reading recently about a thing called the grid. Now that says, this is coming out of CERN in Switzerland, where the World Wide Web was invented. Says it will give instant access to the internet, and it is a new form of internet. Now, I don't know enough about it, but it does sound very interesting, and it does for me touch on a pretty major issue, which I'm starting to see, and I think part of it is down to the impact that BBC iPlayer has had.
Yes.
iPlayer, great idea, but sucks up bandwidth. From personal experience, it looks to me like there's major contention issues coming through, even in 8 meg width that you're getting from your local BT server or whatever. If that is true and that starts to grow, it's going to really frustrate people about the opportunities that the web brings to people, and it's going to drive people away, because we all remember what it was like using a 56k modem. It just didn't work. So that, I think, is an issue. And
finally, if you could kill any website, which website would you kill?
MSN.
Good man. Mark Gorman, thank you very much.